Picture a grainy hallway clip. No glam squad, no spotlights, just Rachel Zegler, a director, and whispers sharper than broken glass. Those blurred 30 seconds allegedly triggered a police visit, froze multi-million-dollar contracts, and sent Disney's crisis team scrambling. If one unseen camera can threaten the crown jewel of Spielberg's latest discovery, what other landmines lie under Hollywood's red carpet? Buckle up. This ride goes from make-believe to meltdown in half. A heartbeat. Closing time at rehearsal. Cords being coiled, notes scribbled, Zegler ducking backstage to swap costumes. Minutes later, she re-emerges, locks eyes with the director, and the room temperature crashes. Insiders swear a security lens, or a castmate's stealth phone, captured every hissed word. Charges of sabotage, a promise someone's career would catch fire, capped by a threat sharp enough to send producers straight to the precinct. No footage has leaked. NDAs arrived before breakfast, yet the rumor itself is radioactive. Her press kit flipped overnight from can't miss star to actuarial nightmare. Auditions stalled. Fandoms dissected past interviews for warning. Signs, and Hollywood asked the question nobody likes out loud. Diva tantrum or credible threat? Roll back a few years and you'll find Zegler propping an iPhone against textbooks in Clifton, New Jersey, belting show tunes into pixelated cyberspace. A million-view high note on Shallow put her on Scouts' radars, but the real miracle was an open casting call for West Side Story. 30,000 submissions, one hallway-filmed audition, and the role of Maria landed squarely in her lap. Cue. Meteoric ascent. A Golden Globe at 19. Disney casting her as the live-action Snow White. Lionsgate handing her a bow for the Hunger Games prequel. Agents whispered Anne Hathaway 2.0. Fans cheered a princess who could actually sing live, and for a fleeting moment, the narrative sparkled. Spotless talent, zero baggage. And then a hallway camera rolled. It took less than half a minute on an otherwise Forget Me Tomorrow livestream. A red carpet reporter lobbed what should have been pure cotton candy. What thrills you most about reimagining Snow White? Zegler's grin tilted, predator sharp. For starters, she replied, our girl isn't waiting around for some rando prince to mouth her awake. She's busy running the kingdom. Flashbulbs popped, publicists blanched. By breakfast, the clip was clipped, chopped, color graded, and framed by YouTube thumbnails, shrieking, Disney's woke nightmare! Hashtags, Not My Snow White and Go Broke vaulted up X like fireworks, while reaction channels milked outrage in 10-minute increments. Disney yanked a feel-good teaser slated for the weekend. Internal Slack threads lit up with phrases like brand safety triage and holiday merch exposure. Zegler? She leaned into the skid. Podcast mics caught her calling the 1937 Prince a walking red flag and joking the original film gave her more nightmares than any witch. Supporters fist-pumped. Finally, a princess with agency. Traditionalists called for boycotts. The algorithm devoured both camps, monetizing every angry click equally. What no one outside the DMs realized, while comment wars raged, Zegler was packing for London, where a live theater crucible awaited. No editors, no retakes, no vault for burying bad press. Hollywood is happy with activism, right up until it dents pre-sales. Zegler's timeline never bothered with diplomatic filters. She roasted immigration bans, clapped back at body shamers, and quote-tweeted bell hooks between belting warm-ups. Stans turned her threads into TikToks scored with her high Cs. Adversaries looped the same posts under neon Get Woke Go Broke banners. The 2024 election cycle poured gasoline on the feed. She retweeted a meme likening voter suppression bills to poisoned apples. Snarky, sure, but catnip for pundits. Hunting Hollywood hypocrisy. Cable panels declared her another elite scolding flyover country. And suddenly the meme was headline fodder on sites that still thought West Side Story was a Spielberg documentary. Execs opened spreadsheets labeled Public Sentiment Volatility. A few columns later came real-world consequences. One rom-com offer iced, a prestige limited series shoved into pending. Behind closed doors, the verdict hardened. Brilliant pipes, but every post is a potential landmine. Zegler refused the silent treatment cure. She live-tweeted debates, screenshot hateful DMs, and fired back with Shakespeare and side-eye. Fans doubled their defense. Haters doubled their views. By spring 2025, the risk equation outweighed the hype curve, just as London's West End dangled Evita's crown, a role that requires lungs of steel and nerves of Kevlar. She accepted in a heartbeat, convinced the roar of a live orchestra would drown out the digital static. She was half right. It did mute something, only to amplify a backstage confrontation that would shake the industry's faith in her louder than any tweet ever could. Touchdown at Heathrow felt like a cinematic reset. London drizzle, fresh lattes, and Jamie Lloyd's minimalist Evita waiting in a rehearsal room that smelled of sawdust and ambition. The early run-throughs were electric. Zegler flung the climactic B-flat in Rainbow High, so clean the orchestra stopped marking and actually cheered. Theater gossip boards buzzed. Could a 24-year-old film star match Lupone's legend? The Eye. Honeymoon lasted 10 days. Jet lag excuses wore thin. Whispered stories of one-word answers during note sessions spread faster than stage fog. Crew who joked, "We're all climbing the same mountain," got a razor smile reply. "I was hired to reach the summit, not chat at base camp." Tension climbed, scene by scene. Then came Black Thursday. Sources agree on 3 beats. Lloyd politely asked for Act 2 balcony vocals pulled to a hush. Let the mic work. Give the audience the intimacy. Zegler froze, eyes hard. Witnesses swear she murmured, "You'll regret that." The orchestra stopped mid-bar. A veteran swing, already on edge, hit record on a tucked-away phone. What happened next spiraled overnight. A rattled stagehand filed an incident log. Another marched a flash drive to the local precinct, claiming the audio contained a credible verbal threat. By dawn, phones pinged the same line. Police report filed. Rehearsals shrank to half-speed spacing calls. Extra security scanned. IDs at the stage door, like MI6. A sound tech quit, didn't sign up to testify. And producers started calculating how many printed programs would need shredding if an understudy stepped in. Evita posters that once screamed "sold out" now looked like countdown clocks. No tape ever leaked, but the idea it might existed was gasoline. Tabs ran with Zegler under investigation. Headlines: TikTok sleuths stitched fake audio over shaky security cam stills that probably weren't her. The theater issued one frosty sentence: "We are cooperating with authorities," and let panic do the PR. Inside the building, life turned surreal. Zegler arrived flanked by new security, AirPod in, sunglasses on indoors. She hit every note with sniper precision, then vanished into a dressing room guarded like a bank vault. Stage managers swapped cue sheets for incident forms. Lawyers scoured contracts for conduct clauses. Insurance reps asked for temperament history. Meanwhile, Hollywood's risk calculus whirred thousands of miles away. A mid-budget rom-com quietly changed direction, a prestige streamer pressed pause, and Disney Suits whispered about shrinking her Snow White press tour to a single, fully scripted premiere. No off-the-cuff charm allowed, yet she kept working. The voice that launched a Spielberg feature now barreled through "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" with hurricane force, and some insiders began wondering whether the very storm that threatened to sink her might also power her greatest performance. Police. Paperwork doesn't vanish, NDAs don't dissolve, and public opinion can pivot on a single push alert. But theater lights were still scheduled to rise on opening night, and that meant the next decision wasn't up to gossip columns or algorithms. It belonged to a live audience about to watch in real time whether Rachel Zegler would implode or ignite. While the West End tried to find an understudy tall enough for Evita's balcony, Los Angeles executives were feeding Rachel Zegler into a spreadsheet colder than any London drizzle. The sheet has 3 fatal columns: projected gross, volatility index, force majeure cost, and rumor says hers was lit up Christmas red in 2 of them. Domino 1, a streaming rom-com, quietly pivoted. Domino 2, a prestige miniseries hit development pause. Domino 3, brand partners asked whether the Snow White press tour could be reduced to a single, fully scripted premiere. No fan Q&As, no late-night sofas, zero riffing. Agents who once flexed her name on panel keynotes practiced disaster management, Zen contrition video, charity donation, or play silent statue until the storm eats itself. All the while, a counter-narrative bubbled on TikTok. Male stars fling chairs and keep franchises. Why is a Latina soprano one misphrased joke away from exile? That debate started trending, and suddenly the redemption market opened a tiny window. If she could land the next move. First Friday of June, London twilight drizzling like stage water. Outside the Phoenix Theater, poncho-wrapped fans clutch glossy programs that still show her face. At 7:24 p.m., an SUV door pops. The crowd holds its breath. and Zegler steps out, hoodie down, game face on. The overture swells. She hits, "What's new, Buenos Aires?" with a belt so clean you feel auditors in LA recalculating the risk column in real time. Twitter, yes, still can't quit calling it that, lights up mid-show. She's eating. At curtain, she walks back into the single, follows spot and does the unthinkable, speaks. Jamie, cast, crew, thank you for your grace. Talent without humility is just volume. Tonight, I promise to be louder and kinder. 10 words, 2 promises, 1 standing ovation. Variety's first push alert. Zegler delivers career-saving turn. Agents who ghosted her at brunch text at midnight. Disney Comms moves the next Snow White teaser back onto the calendar. The police file still exists. NDAs still bite, but momentum is oxygen, and she just took the industry's deepest inhale of 2025. So, did Rachel Zegler script her own resurrection, or merely buy time before the next tripwire tweet? Hollywood hasn't decided, neither have the spreadsheets. Drop your verdict below, Phoenix rising or sparkler fizzling, because in an industry built on perception, the audience's belief is the final spotlight, and the curtain never really falls until you look away.